Good Wednesday afternoon, everyone. My name is Morgan Wolf. Thanks for joining us on KARE 11 News Now. Let's get to our top stories of the day. It is day 29 of the government shutdown, and there is still no light at the end of the tunnel. And air traffic controllers and TSA workers are starting to make it clear that the shutdown is impacting them. Picket lines greeted travelers at airports across the country, and flight delays are mounting. MSP, however, is bucking the trend. Federal workers still showing up despite not being paid. Today, just 2 delays and no cancellations. People are finding ways to help them, though. A mobile food bank just wrapped up at the airport. It is there to help those federal workers. It comes as SNAP benefits are also about to expire over the weekend. Second Harvest Heartland and the organization running today's food box program says it is bracing for a surge in hunger when SNAP benefits end next month. Nationwide, NBC News reports that the airline industry is operating with 2,000 fewer controllers than it needs. Both controllers and TSA employees are bucking under the pressure to work unpaid.
We're all one step away from being out on the street right about now. They don't have money for gas. They don't have money to get childcare. They don't have food.
Minnesota is fighting back to keep SNAP benefits going. One of several states that is taking legal action, suing to stop the USDA from ending the SNAP program. Meantime, Governor Walz is allocating $4 million of state funding to help cover SNAP if the shutdown continues past this weekend. New today, a big announcement from the U of M. They will no longer allow high school commencement ceremonies at Mariucci Arena. According to school leadership, they decided that it is no longer sustainable to host these large events. The university says this will not impact any high school athletic or non-commencement events, though. The U of M says that it reached out to all of the 26 high schools that will be impacted about other possible venues they can turn to and other options they may have for commencement this spring. The retrial for Cody Forencam, the man accused of killing star student athlete Deshaun Hill back in 2022, has now been delayed. The trial was supposed to start next week. Forencam was convicted in the murder, but a Minnesota Court of Appeals overturned the conviction due to an issue with his police interrogation. Court documents show the retrial is delayed because the Minnesota Supreme Court decided to take up prosecutors' appeal of the overturned conviction. As of now, Forencam's retrial is set to begin February 2nd, 2026. Right now, Hurricane Melissa is creeping out into the Atlantic after roaring across Cuba this morning, causing significant damage. Just take a look at this video. And there are so many people there on the ground reporting extensive damage as well. We just got this video, though, showing the trees scattered everywhere in Santiago, and then people are saying that they're slowly starting to clean up right now that the storm has passed by. Some spots on the island country, though, seeing over a foot of rain as the storm moved across. Less than 100 miles south of Cuba, Jamaica is slowly starting to pick up after Melissa made landfall on the island as a massive Category 5 storm. When it landed, Melissa had whipping winds around 185 miles per hour. It is now one of the strongest storms ever to come out of the Atlantic. This is new video that we have here showing people starting to see what Melissa left behind. You can see a big damage there as well as the homes are destroyed, cars underwater, and power lines down everywhere. Right now, NBC's George Solis is in Jamaica where he rode out the storm.
Hurricane Melissa now moving through Cuba where more than 730,000 people were evacuated. It made historic landfall in Jamaica as a strong Category 5. Now here in the capital city of Kingston, we were spared the worst of the destructive winds, but we still saw some of those tropical force-storm winds that did do some damage to infrastructure like this billboard here behind me. Now the damage assessment is only just beginning, but some of those images coming out of those hard-hit areas are really staggering. You have buildings that were underwater, anything that wasn't concrete just blowing away. Officials saying that their assessment will begin as soon as they are able to, especially with the roads potentially being a mess. One thing they also plan on doing is assessing the nation's airports, both in Montego Bay and in Kingston. And depending on what they find, they may be able to start those crucial relief flights to bring aid to those hardest hit areas and areas that are frankly going to need it most. President Trump also announcing that the U.S. will provide humanitarian aid. Now, some communications on the part of the island where the eye hit, where the storm was the strongest, has been spotty. Officials quickly working to restore some power there, some cell phone towers, so communications can begin. Still no question on when people may be able to fly home, especially for those tourists that are stranded there, about 23,000 at last check. A lot of work still left ahead, again, in these early hours as the damage assessment only begins. Back to you.
Wow, just devastating to see there. Well, 2,000 miles away here in Minnesota, family members are watching as people are starting to pick up those pieces, and they are preparing for the inevitable recovery work. Joe McCoy shows us the help that is being done here at home.
From the looks of them, these blue barrels don't seem that special.
All right, then we're gonna roll them down.
But for the people in Jamaica, they could mean everything.
These are gonna be life-saving. 100, 100.
Tommy Bivas, owner of Pimento Jamaican Kitchen, is partnering with the Jamaica Minnesota organization and Galaxy Foods to get barrels of non-perishable items over to his home country.
Yeah, man.
As he waits anxiously to hear from his loved ones who are being directly impacted by Hurricane Melissa.
Now I literally haven't heard from my uncle all morning, and we were hearing from him on the regular, and the family is naturally concerned. So we're making some sweet fried plantains.
Bivas learned to cook out of a necessity when he was 8 years old and Hurricane Gilbert devastated Jamaica.
Finish it off with some nutmeg vanilla glaze. This is the piece of resistance.
He is nervous seeing how strong this storm is, but he believes the people of Jamaica will recover.
Jamaican people they're the definition of resilience, and this hurricane is going to test that resilience, but I'm very proud that Jamaicans will know how to step up and support each other.
Bivas says the Jamaica Minnesota organization partnered with the Minnesota National Guard back in 1988 to deliver aid to his community after Hurricane Gilbert. And now here he is partnering with the same organization nearly 40 years later.
And so here come full circle to where we're doing the same thing for Hurricane Melissa.
Donation barrels are set up at all 3 Pimento Kitchen locations, Galaxy Foods in Richfield, and other Caribbean restaurants throughout the Twin Cities.
Rice, flour, sugar.
Yeah, everything. Sugar is going to be important.
They will be taking donations until next Tuesday when the barrels will be flown to the island country.
Bless up yourself, man. Maximum respect. So we're not just in it for the now, we're in it for the long-term recovery and rebuilding effort.
Well, Bivas says that baby items such as diapers, baby food, and baby formula are also needed at this time. If you prefer to donate money to support the recovery efforts, we do have a link to do so on our website, KARE11.com. Right now, take a look at this. The U of M police are asking for help identifying this person that they believe may be involved in a brutal assault on a student. The assault happened September 20th, just before 10 p.m. at 4th Street Southeast and 16th Avenue Southeast in Minneapolis. Police say surveillance video captured the suspect hitting the victim multiple times. They are asking anyone with information to call U of M police immediately. More than 800 people are now unemployed after Target rolled out its massive layoffs yesterday morning. Locally, 528 employees at headquarters in Minneapolis were laid off, 287 from the Brooklyn Park office. Target employees say the layoffs appeared to be spread out, with nearly every team losing at least one person. Target's incoming CEO said overlapping work was slowly decisions. And Target is not the only major company with layoffs right now. Amazon is cutting at least 14,000 corporate employees. The company says that it must be organized more leanly in light of changes brought on by artificial intelligence. Developing right now, a swatting incident in southeastern Minnesota has been linked to a group that the FBI classifies as an extremist organization, one known for targeting children and vulnerable adults. Now, police officers and the mayor of Red Wing say that they've been getting death threats. As I found out, the small town never ever thought that they would be a part of an international investigation, especially one that led to an arrest.
We have a really nice community here. So something like this, yeah, very unusual to happen.
Run-ins with groups on the FBI's terrorist list are a rarity in Red Wing.
Correct, especially linked to an international group. Yeah, very unexpected.
Possible report of a deceased person unknown if this is verifiable.
On October 14th, police were called to a home.
A deceased person at a shooting, unverified.
Officers arrived to find that it was a hoax, better known as swatting.
Most people don't have a bunch of police officers showing up at their door calling them, saying, hey, Is everybody okay? It's pretty traumatizing for somebody to get that phone call.
Police Chief Nick Sather
Oh, 100%.
says that the home was swatted again 2 days later.
They usually result in just it's somebody trying to get back at somebody who was angry at somebody, not part of an extremist organization.
Officers learned a child living there was being harassed by someone affiliated with a group of cyber criminals the FBI classifies as a terror threat network. The group is preying on children, connecting with them through social media and gaming platforms.
They find some leverage against them, something that they don't either want their parents to know or the community to know or something like that, or a picture that they don't want released. And they use that leverage against them. They ask them usually to do small stuff to start with. It could be anything from go steal something from Walmart, make a prank phone call, all the way up to and including hurting people and even murder.
It's happening across the world. This Red Wing case was traced to a man in the UK.
Our investigators spoke with this person on the phone actually over in the UK. The person over there made a statement, "You can't touch me, there's nothing you can do, I'm not in the United States."
He was arrested by UK authorities. Through all this chaos, Chief Sather wants to get a clear message out.
So the parents need to talk to their kids. Be involved with your children, especially your teenagers.
Yeah, go and talk to your kids about that stuff. Stick with us. We got more news and weather coming up after the break.